stoked at the Camry.
Oh, the Camry's like a brand new damn car for her.
Okay.
The 16-year-old Camry. So
Listen
this was
to
my
this.
niece's car, and listen to the sound it makes when you close the door. You're gonna have to do it a couple times for
Put
the video.
mic right.
Oh, I
put
don't
the
get-
mic
Yeah,
here.
come
Ready?
right down there.
Switch. Ready?
It sounds like there's coffee mugs in the door.
Yeah, yeah.
Do I have? Oh no! Oh, the doors. Oh, don't open the doors at the same time. They collide.
I don't think I want to drive this. It's only got 161,000 miles on it.
Note the broken windshield.
The windshield's f***ed. Everything is f***ed.
Here, turn the radio down so you can hear the sound. Are you ready?
What am I doing
Well,
that's good?
is there any light not on the dashboard?
Oh my god, the airbag. It needs gas, the airbag light's on, the tire pressure is low, my seatbelt's off, and the service engine light is on.
Yeah.
Do I have to drive this? Because
Yeah.
it's making horrible noises already.
It does actually start and run nice.
What's that?
You hear that funny whirring sound?
Oh no. Well, it's got a headlight out.
It's mushy. Don't go in the grass.
Oh.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
I gotta stop. I don't like any of this.
Will it do a burnout?
I don't know. I'm afraid that if I do a neutral drop, it's just gonna neutrally not ever go again.
When I did the burnout with the Camry, I used the e-brake. You'll need to move your seat up a little bit, mate, Jake.
Oh, I got it.
There we go.
Hi, Mason.
Dad. Dad.
Dave,
Oh, you
Dave's
brought
calling.
one.
Have a cola.
You're the
Yeah,
best.
here, he's
I don't want to put it in this car.
driving
though.
it here just to see how it, because it makes some funny sounds.
Piloting.
It makes a really odd whirring noise.
What is that sound?
It's so bad.
Yeah. I don't know if it's a trans.
No.
It has
Is it
to
trans or is it?
That sounds power
be.
steering.
It sounds like a wind-up toy.
Yeah. Power steering, maybe.
We'll go down here to Burnout Lane.
It doesn't have much gas.
I see that. It's got 1 bar. What does 1 bar mean?
Not much.
Shall we get a couple dollars?
It almost sounds like a siren.
It sounds like a pissed cat.
It
I think you're right. I think it is a power steering pump.
People are gonna be pulling over.
This car is really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Full e-brake. Ready?
Yep.
I think you're just dragging.
It's just dragging.
Yeah.
All right. Didn't do anything.
There might be a wet spot up here.
Didn't do
We're gonna
anything.
give one tire on.
All right. Maximum emergency brake.
Low.
Low.
I don't think that's gonna do anything.
There it is.
Oh, we got a new light. The ABS light is now on also.
All right. I don't think I'm gonna get anything for it from a salvage yard.
I don't
from
think
a car
it's-
salvage
I
yard.
think that we-
Except the engine and transmission, you know, does seem to run good.
I don't think it does.
I don't know. I think it's had a very abused 161,000 miles. I feel like
Could do work.
Yeah.
Maybe this uphill.
I had to take the Camry around the block to vent the tire smoke out of the cabin.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to venture and say that was the worst car I've ever driven. It smells angry too.
Here, close the passenger door.
Ready? Here. You don't have to do anything. Just listen. Prepare yourself.
Why?
Are we done?
talking about bad ideas.
So,
Plans for the SeXTRA.
oh yes, the
Death machine.
death machine. It's really fast. So
The Sentry.
brakes. It's gonna need brake modifications. Who's doing brakes?
What was the brake modifications?
We're gonna take off the front brakes, right?
Yep, take the front calipers off and put a piece of wood in between. And relocate them.
Why don't we just crimp the brake lines at the master cylinder?
That'd work too.
That'd be simple.
Well, then we're probably going to get a leak and lose
Yeah.
brake pressure to the rear, which we want for the Epic. burnout.
Actually, if we just make it leak, it'll probably do that safety thing, right? Where the valve's shut and then it doesn't even send.
If it has
fluid
it.
out.
Let's do the wood block.
What if we just
I
throw
like the
bolts into the master cylinder?
We'll do the wood block thing.
Okay.
And then I think my favorite part so far, Jake, is since the exhaust manifold leaves the back of the motor, we're gonna turn the manifold pipe around, come back under the motor,
Straight
up in
up the
front of the car, and then mount a turbo
A turbo.
on the exhaust pipe up in front of the front bumper. And as we said, it's gonna be the cleanest, coolest air.
Yes,
That's where you get the coolest air. So we won't need an intercooler.
correct.
Oh yeah, there's no.
The other option is flip the manifold over, cut the cowl out a little bit, take the hood off.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
I
other
think
option.
a hood,
There's a fire
Well-
risk, but that's certainly not the worst thing that could happen.
Right.
but at the same time, without a hood, then we could see possible, blow.
when it
fails.
has an issue.
Yeah, when? Not
When it has an issue.
I just hope it's explosive.
Yes, certainly, eventually.
Okay, so the turbo.
Yeah, so for the turbo, we're going to over-engineer something that works mostly none.
Correct.
And the brakes plan is to remove the caterpillars, insert blocks to prevent ejection and/or fluid loss.
Yes.
I'm gonna make Skip's job is responsible for aero.
For what?
Aerodynamics.
Oh, aerodynamics? Oh, I'm in.
Boy,
I'm in.
largely responsible.
It's gonna need a wing on the back.
Are we gonna do?
Oh,
Are we gonna try to actually drive this thing? Like
just
out?
in the backyard.
It should not be driven on a road
And
for our own convenience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Having to go retrieve the thing.
So we need to find a wing.
Oh, I'll make a wing. I'll make a wing.
All right, so you're in control of the aerodynamics.
Because when we get up to, like the speeds this thing's gonna achieve, we're gonna need to keep the back end down.
On the front wheel drive car.
Oh, don't worry, I
Oh,
got
yeah.
that covered right here.
I got it.
We could really go all out, like cut the springs.
You take the springs out?
We're gonna take the springs out and weld the shocks at low.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
we need clearance for
Clearance.
the
For flares.
The tires.
Well, yeah, we'll just use the Sawzall for that.
The tires.
Mhm.
Not gonna say what they might be, but the tires.
Clarence for tires.
clearance.
Clearance.
Do we have
Mason
a way?
is nos bitch.
We'll have to take some video in the daylight to show how bad the car really is to be starting with, just so,
Yeah.
to put it in perspective, we're really starting with a car that has zero intrinsic value.
Do we have any chance of adapting the forelug to 5 on 4.5?
No.
No.
No chance.
I think the Cressida wheels are gonna be excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking we could do
Because
some.
we don't even need adaptalizers for that.
Mm.
We
They
could.
just go bolt on. And the
Yeah.
hubs on rear-wheel drive cars and old cars are much bigger, so we won't have to worry about PCD. We'll just literally just bolt them on.
Right.
I
And
was
then the
thinking-
offset's gonna push them way out.
Oh yeah, they're gonna
be like way out past the fenders.
Towards the end of the car's demise, we could slightly trim the fenders, and I have a set of 33-inch mud tires.
Oh.
Hmm.
Minor trimming required.
So 4x to 5x
We should do our-
adapters are too expensive.
Okay.
Yeah.
We should do our own like wide body.
Sawzall.
Something with plywood.
I think Tim is going to be in charge of wide body.
Yeah, let's put Tim.
Tim will
That'll
love
be a
that.
good one.
Tim will love that.
It'll be a.
That'll get cut, bent.
Mm.
Instead of like a Liberty Walk,
Or
it's,
just like-
it's gonna be a Tim run.
Shim the whole fender out.
That's an idea too. I have some. I mean, I have T111 out there. You know, T111 plywood. That would be good to make a wide body.
So Jake's the turbo.
Turbo.
Jake is the turbo. Skip is aero. Mason is NAS boy.
Possible turbo boy as well.
And I'll do brakes. I'll do brakes and suspension.
I mean, if we end up with more than one turbo, there are worse problems to have.
We gotta remember that we
This
need
is
a
true.
manifold. We need a phalange, a phalange.
We do need a flange for
We
it.
need a phalange. A phalange
well,
is going to be
God
critical
damn it,
in
I
the
forgot
operation.
again.
They explode.
I know. I might remember that.
Where are you thinking of we need a manifold? We need a flange at
To connect the turbo to the new pipe.
Because we don't necessarily.
intake piping.
The turbo's probably gonna die.
So the exhaust
Charged,
comes out.
Because we're not
It's gonna
feeding
need to
it
get
oil.
bolted to the turbo.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Always make a flange.
We can make a flange,
I mean,
but that's gonna be a thing to think about.
yeah.
Right. But are we gonna feed the turbo oil via the power steering pump?
I like that idea.
We'll just neck it down to where it, you know, like how you do with ball bearing turbos, like a restrictor for the oil feed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I spelled stance without an N.
How are we going
Stays.
to? How are we going to give it a popcorn tune?
It's probably just gonna have one automatic.
Yeah.
When
Love
the,
the self-seeking.
when the exhaust comes up and around, it's probably just gonna have one.
What we ought to do is figure out what injectors are in it, and see if we can find some injectors that are the same size, and just put them in so it overfuels automatically.
Oh, wildly overfueled. Yeah.
So that once boost does hit, or what we could also do. No.
we make boost.
Hear me out. Hear me out. What we could do is do like a very rigged wet shot, and just put an injector in the intake. You know what I mean? For the nitrous and the extra boost, just give it extra fuel through the intake somehow.
Like you would have a button that when you hit that button, it just turns that injector on and just injects fuel,
just full send.
a full spray of fuel.
Because I mean, that's what a wet shot of nitrous is. It adds fuel.
Right.
You know what I mean? For the extra whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna.
I mean, I bet it's a plastic intake, so
Probably
some
so.
RTV and some. You can do whatever the
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
you want. It's an artist's canvas. But
Who's on intake?
Mason, because that would be mostly.
Okay.
That would be nitrous related mostly.
All right. So Mason's on intake. Jake's on exhaust.
Well, I think kind of however the chips fall, but long story short.
Yeah, I think that we should do this. Like, we should enjoy this. Yeah. Really take our time and do it right.
Like, just really go all out.
There's a couple beer cans in there. Yeah, I think we take the springs out. We put the Cressida wheels on it. Fully compress everything. Cut as much out as is necessary to fully compress the car, and then we just weld the struts.
Yeah. So there's zero travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would ride stiff.
It's gonna be a little stiff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll help with the burnouts though,
Yeah.
because there
would be
it'll
no
help with
give.
the weight transfer.
Especially the rear, because when you pull the e-brake in a front-wheel drive car,
Actually, for the rear, we could probably do the shocks out. Take the shocks out and have the springs and go for the bouncy boy.
oh, that would
That's
be
entertaining.
funny as hell.